Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Magi Show. Right, as you might have noticed, I got a little bit of medieval times clothes on today because we have a guest joining us from the show Vikings. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the show before, so I guess before I introduce the guest, I'm just going to get everything ready for the show here. Just going to update the chat, get the latest comments in here. And then I'll share it with a few people, and then I'll give Peter a call. Yeah, and Peter's going to be joining us all the way from Ireland, so hoping that the connection goes smoothly. We're going to be using Facebook for this one, so hoping that works out just as good as Skype, or maybe even better. Okay, so looks like we got the chat going. If anyone's able to type a message in there, see if it's working. Type one here. Alright, let's test that out. Yep, chat's all set. Cool. Alright, next thing we'll do is just share it with a few groups. Yeah, and if anyone else watching the show wants to help share this, it'll speed up the process for the show getting started. I just got to share it with the group that I do some writing with called Adept Initiates. So I'll share it with them first. Alright, so that's shared to Adept Initiates. And let's see who else I need to share it with. Share it on my own page. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good week. It's like a couple days ago I had another guest on the show, and we talked a lot about my ancient mystery stuff up north and a lot of other different places like Sudbury, meteor impact craters, magnetic anomalies. It was a really wild show, so I hope everyone jumps into the archive and checks that one out. Yeah, and if you can't find the archive here on Facebook, you can also jump into the one on, what's that called? Oh yeah, on YouTube, and you can see that there too. Alright, sorry for the delay, folks. Just two more groups here to share it with. Yeah, and Peter was actually just on his way back from somewhere, so give him a couple extra minutes to get ready too. Can't remember where I shared it to, so I'll do one more here. Yeah, I really appreciate everyone helping share the show last time. It's like, man, starting to reach a lot more people than it used to. So you guys are really definitely making a big difference. So keep up the good work. Oh yeah, I'm going to share it with my friends group in Montreal too. It's called the Conspiracy Talk. They used to do a show live out of Montreal called M&R TV. Yeah, and Robert just had his birthday recently, so if anyone wants to jump into his archive and wish him a happy birthday, I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Alright, so just one last group I'm going to share it with here. I know I keep saying that. Just when I think I've got them all, I remember one more that I was supposed to do. Yeah, and this group's called Infinite Knowledge and Wisdom. If anyone wants to go check out that one, it's got some really cool content. Alright, I think I'm all set for sharing the show, so now I'm just going to read Peter's introduction, and then we'll try to get a hold of him on Facebook here. Yeah, how's my volume looking? Yeah, that looks good. Alright, let's see, Peter's introduction. Alright, so yeah, before I read the introduction, yeah, me and Peter are going to be talking on the show about Vikings, Stonehenge, High Brazil is one of his favorite subjects, I think, and the ancient Irish too. So, a lot of interesting material to cover on the show today. I hope Peter is able to join us for enough time to cover everything, but Well, we'll see what we get to. Alright, now I'll just bring up his folder so I can read the introduction here. Alright, all set. Peter is an actor who worked many years in the industry. His projects include the murder of John Long, also Man About Dog, and he did a character known informally as The Watcher in the film. He is currently involved in a long-term typecast contract for a show I'm sure everyone's heard of, The Vikings. And that's an ongoing series created by Michael Hurst. And currently the series has been nominated for multiple Emmy Awards. Yeah, and all my friends and family are always talking about the show Vikings, so yeah, I'm sure everyone's heard of it before. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Peter's introduction here, so I'll try getting hold of him next. Let's see. Yeah, we were going to set it up on Skype, but we figured maybe a video call on Facebook would be better. Alright, let's try calling Peter. Hopefully my headphones are working right. Oh, there we go. I can hear him now.
Hello, I'm just literally getting set up here.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be about another 5 minutes, alright? 2 minutes at the most, alright?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
No problems, alright? Just literally in the door. Alright?
Yeah, no big deal. If you want to hit mute on your microphone, because we can still hear you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and then whenever you're ready, just hit unmute and we'll start. Alright, so I was able to reach Peter. He's just getting ready for the show. He literally just stepped in the door, so... Boy, it's going to be a little bit warm wearing this costume for today. Something I dug out, because I usually dress up as an assassin for Halloween, so... figured it'd be cool to wear it for the show today. Alright, let's see if I can get this window here. Oh, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Looks like the Facebook chat's going to put everyone's name as anonymous, so I'll have to jump back and forth in order to see who it is that's messaging, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions for Peter as we do the show today, just feel free to type them in the chat there, and I'll try to get to all of them. Alright, looks like Peter's almost ready to join us. Yeah, I think one of these days I'm going to have to do a blog or write a blog for Adept Initiates about Vikings, because, man, it seems like a really popular topic these days. Alright, looks like Peter's almost ready. Yeah, I highly recommend everyone checking out Peter's Facebook page too. He's always sharing new videos with some pretty awesome different shows from all over the internet. He was on a friend of mine's show, Derek Leslie's, and it was a pretty wild interview. They covered some pretty awesome topics, and yeah, big thanks to Derek for helping put me in touch with Peter here.
And it's a privilege to talk to you.
Oh, hey Peter. Welcome to the Magi Show.
It's an honor.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad you made it back. I guess you were just out on the road, eh?
I was playing literally I play Irish classical music.
Oh, really?
On a Thursday night, and it's very interesting. Say what we're actually creating now. You know, it's what we create within the universe, and that is commonly known. You know,
No, I don't think I've ever heard that kind of music before.
Irish trad music.
Okay, cool.
You know, Pogues. You
Just
heard of the
one,
Pogues?
yeah. Here, just one second. I'm just gonna try adjusting the volume a bit because you're coming in a little bit quiet. So I'll try boosting it here.
Okay. Okay.
Sound manager. Ah, there we are. Microphone. Perfect. There, got it all set now.
A bit closer.
Cool. All right, so a lot of my viewers have heard of your work before on Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the Viking show before, but my friends and family are really big fans of it, and so I was just hoping to ask you, like, how did you get started doing working on Vikings? I guess that was because you're an actor.
I'm a basically I'm a typecast actor.
Cool.
Is commonly known as an extra.
Yeah.
It's commonly known like it's in Ireland. It's a type an extra is a typecast actor, and like it's within the scenes when they know what you can do in front of the camera, they'll put you in front of the camera constantly.
Nice.
That's what a that's what a featured extra is. When you're featured a lot, it's known as a typecast actor. So it's basically an extra but gets a lot of screen time.
Nice.
You know? So
That's cool.
you know.
Yeah, I actually got a couple pictures from your Facebook page from when you were working on
That's no
Vikings.
problem.
So do you mind if I show a
Yeah.
couple of those pictures, or?
Yeah, can indeed. It's my photograph. They can't do me for copyright infringement. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I'm not getting you into any trouble over that.
No, you won't get me into any trouble.
Okay, cool.
You know, we like the world manifests what they want. You know, and I'm a big believer in that, and that's what the Vikings were big believers in, because like all the Vikings wanted in the world was peace and harmony, and the only way they could actually do that is leave Scandinavia to look for more land, and they had to go to war. They had no choice because people didn't understand them.
Yeah,
You know, so like every language has a different view. You know.
yeah,
So like all they wanted was peace in the world. That's all they wanted, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen like that within through all history. So now it's time to. My belief is now time to change, because like when the Vikings actually raided the world, all they spreaded love in Gors. They spreaded love, and the Saxons go, oh yeah, that's not the real love or whatever.
yeah.
Let's go to war. It really happened, you know. So, and that's what the TV series The Vikings is actually based on,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
So, like when Ragnar Lothbrok met Alistan in England, he started to see his side of love, you know.
Okay.
There's only one malevolent being, and his name was Jesus, and Thor was Jesus, and it's kind of thing like they all have different myths within different names, but he was all one. He was the same person, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it was the same person, and it's like saying, like the legends of Hyber's Hill, like Lishkin and all, Finn McCool, and they're all malevolent gods, but they're all the same. They're all created in the eyes of God. Do you know?
Yeah. No, I've been actually checking into that a little bit because when I was growing up as a kid, I always heard about the Roman Catholic Church, but I never knew that the Irish had their own church as well, and they were sort of at odds with the Roman version. So I was kind of surprised to hear that, and why we never really taught about that in school, right?
It like that. Like when you look back through the Irish history books, like they built where I grew up in Kildare, it's known as Kildare,
Okay.
right? commonly known Kildare is in Irish it's Kildare, in English it's Kildare, and what that actually means is the Church of the Oak. You
Oh,
know, and they built, like, the pagans built churches for like their meeting halls for the people to come and speak their views. You know,
yeah,
and that was it. And you know, and like that's where the most of the philosophy came from. Like
yeah,
when you actually look back at the one of the first chapters in the Bible where Jesus walked into the mosque and said, God does not want money being gathered in the house of God.
yeah,
All religions done that. The only
exactly.
religion the only religions that never done that was paganism,
Oh,
because
no
they didn't
kidding.
believe in that. They didn't believe in that. They believed in what they actually believed in was the likes of Gaia, Austin, and the likes of Fehu, and all of that. And when you actually look back through the history books, Fehu was barter. When you have Fehu within your heart, you have God within your heart. When you ask Fehu for guidance and Gaia for guidance, everything follows. You
Yeah,
know, and God understood that, because Gaia is the mother of all creation. God created the universe in every myth, in every legend. Like myths, legends, God created all of them.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
God created all of them, and like it's like in the old books of Irish mythology. It literally says the chariots across the sky within the beam of lights. The Nephilim giants have seen these lights. Open your eyes and see. Can a blind man see? You know, and
Yeah,
that actually opened my eyes for years. Actually, being in the TV series The Vikings, and actually listening to the stories. You know,
yeah,
it kind of it all goes back onto the same thing. You know, it actually does go all back onto the same thing, like the likes of Atlantis and all of these countries. You
yeah.
know,
No, I actually
like
got some.
they're not
I was just gonna
yeah.
say I got some slides ready today about High Brazil and about Atlantis too. So hopefully we'll get into
Mhm.
that. No, I just got a
Yeah,
viewer too who is asking, what part of Ireland are you from, or are you
what
at?
part of Ireland am I from? I'm from County Kildare. Uh, it's I presume everybody heard of the Curragh of Kildare.
No,
It's
I
one of the
haven't
biggest.
actually.
It's one of the biggest fields in the world.
Oh, really?
Uh, to have a a race course on it. They do horsing on it, and it's the legend. Talking about legends, there's a legend in Ireland, and it's not basically a legend; it's actually fact.
Yeah,
Saint Bridget, Saint Bridget went to the High King of Ireland, Finn McCool and Houston and all of them. She went to them and she goes, I want a bit of land, lords. And they laughed at her, and
huh.
she literally looked at them, and she goes, if I can spread my cloak over the Curragh of Kildare, over the church, over the yoke, can I reclaim that land as my own? And sitting on their pedestals on the mountain, and they go, yeah, right, that's not possible. They could literally see everything.
Yeah,
The Nephilim giants, they could literally see everything. And they go, you may laugh, St. Bridget said, you may laugh at me. I'm a pagan goddess, and I believe in what I believe. I'll go to the Curragh, and I will spread my cloak. And they
okay.
go, that's not possible. 3,000 acres she wanted. And she literally went out, and she spread her cloak. All she went was, she whistled at every sheep in the whole county covered the Curragh.
Wow.
And they're still there today. And that's what the legend came from. Because she grew up a peasant sheep farmer. Her
Yeah,
parents were peasant sheep farmers. And that's where the legend actually came from. Because, and when you actually look at it, it's not actually a legend because, like, all through the history books within Ireland, it always brings up Yera and St. Bridget, do you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of thing like the St. Bridget festival was originally a pagan festival, and then the Catholic Church took it over and then twisted it,
Yeah.
do you know? Because, like, if a family have over 3 billion sheep, back then you had to claim them. She didn't want to claim her sheep. All she wanted was land. All she wanted was land for her family. All she wanted was land. And the kings wouldn't give it to her. And she goes, hang on, I have an idea. And she done it. Do you know, they thought she was mad, spreading this red cloak on the ground, and all of a sudden these sheep covered. It was like seeing snow falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Do you know? All of a sudden this field is covered. The whole of County Kildare, it was covered in sheep. And
wow.
That's, you know, and if you knock down a sheep in the Curragh in Kildare, it's a £3,000 fine because the sheep have more rights to the Curragh than humans, and that as it should be, as it should be. That was one of St. Bridget's. When she said that the people of Ireland of Éire owned the Curragh. No government, no land, or no high king will own this land. It's the people.
Yeah.
And the sheep, they own the land. And she went, Eshte. Do you know? And it's kind of thing like, do you know? So.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could go back to those ways someday, right?
Well, it's nearly happening. Yeah. Because all they wanted to do is, like, when you actually think about war, when people actually shout peace, that's creating war. Do you know? That is actually creating war when you shout peace. When you shout love, you're creating love. Because I was standing at the bus stop, literally waiting on my bus to come back to like my girlfriend's house after work or whatever. Yeah. And this beautiful lady approached me, a South African woman.
Nice.
She approached me and she goes, Nasta. And I go, yeah, I believe in God. God's within you. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, so you go to Mass? I go, no, I don't need to go to Mass because I understand. And she goes, never heard that before. I said, you believe in love, don't you? You believe in love? She goes, yeah, I believe in love. And I go, there you go. You know, you're talking to me now. So it's kind of thing like, love is everything. And that's all St. Peter wanted. And that's all Jesus wanted, was to spread the word of love. And people are starting to realize this. Do you know?
No, I believe in the power of words too. It's like if you talk about stuff, it ends up bringing a sort of like a manifestation into the world, right? So if you're talking about war, you're going to be bringing in war, and if you're talking about love, then you'll be creating love, right?
Yeah, you're creating it. You know?
It's a cool way to look at it.
Problem. Yeah, it's one way to look at it because it's the most important thing is, like, in the last 4 years alone, I've noticed that many people actually going live and talking about love, bringing out the old ways and tarot cards. Jesus read tarot cards, and like you don't hear that in the Catholic Church.
No, they took that part out.
They took that part out because it's malevolent. Do you know? If you understand that word, malevolent means it's not within the eyes of God.
Yeah.
Do you know? And that's the problem. Like that's the problem with all religions, because they just see one thing, and then they just block it out and create war with it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's what I was actually brought up is because I'm proud to be dyslexic. Like, I was always told when I was a child, even by my teachers, if God wanted you to read and write, my son, he'd put a Bible in your hand. And I go, hang on. Yeah, okay. Do you know? And then when someone handed me the book of Enoch on tape, then I started to understand. Then I got the Bible, then I started to understand. a lot of people actually haven't read the Bible.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and that's the problem. And they're literally sitting down and they're quoting it. You know, so what's like if you don't understand something, there's no point in quoting it. Like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. The first thing Jesus ever said is love each other. Do you know?
Yeah.
And he went up to a blind man and he said, if you can see, and he goes, I can't, Lord. He goes, stand up and you will see. The blind man couldn't see, but he could. He goes, feel your senses, my friend. Do you know? Feel your senses and you will see.
Yeah.
That's where that's where it comes from. And like it's kind of thing, he's still blind, but he can actually feel his surroundings. Do you know? He can actually feel his surroundings because like every night, every Thursday night, like for the last 2 weeks, like I'm actually, like I close my eyes when I'm playing music. Do you know?
Yeah.
And it's the music flows within yourself. Do you know?
Yeah, if you close your eyes, you can visualize it better with your like
You
your
can
soul.
visualize it better. You
Yeah.
can visualize it better. And there's a blind guy for the last 3 weeks in the pub, and like people have turned around to him like and said, "All right, he's not blind, do you know, but he can't see. He can play the whistle. He has a beautiful voice, and it's kind of thing like say like last night, the barman goes, "There's your pint," and he goes, "All right, it's 4 taps up." And he walked across and picked up the pint, walked around, swung around, and sat back down in his seat.
Wow.
You know, and a lot of people say, yeah, they can hear, like they can hear, but they can't see, but they know their surroundings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he can literally go out into the smoking area on his own within a week, and he knows exactly where he's going.
Nice.
You know, and that's love and benevolence. You know what I mean? It's it's what you create. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, a blind man can't see. Yes, he can. He can feel your aura. Do you know?
Yeah, it's true. No, even with martial arts, you get that a little bit too, because like some people say that you don't even really need to see your opponent; you can just feel them, right? Same thing, I guess. Yeah.
It is the same thing. Like karate. Karate means the palm of my hand. Do you know?
Yeah.
And that's where karate came from, the palm.
Oh,
know?
yeah.
It's like saying protect. Do you know? Palm is protect. So.
No, that's really wild. No, one of the other slides I got ready for the show today was about High Brazil. And I've got a picture on screen basically showing that High Brazil was like an island off the coast of Ireland. And that yeah, and then I guess the myth or the legend or the history, however you want to call it, was it would disappear and then reappear every 7 years, I believe. Or did you want to tell us about that?
Like in our mythology, it's known as Tír na Nog.
Okay.
If you look back through all the Irish history, it was always commonly known as Tír na Nog, the land of the free, the island of the free. It was the island of the free, and like it's like Tír na Nog is known as Tuiste, the land.
Yeah.
And that's where like in our history, that's where the benevolent gods lived. That was that was our legend.
Wow.
You know, like there's a lot of legends out there saying, oh yeah, big rabbits live on the bleeding island, and a king lives on the island and he's an evil king and all of this.
Okay.
You know, stories actually get broken over the years.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
When you actually grow up with the legend of Tír na Nog, or the fictional truth of Tír na Nog, it actually starts to make sense. The island is there, but it appears when the island is there, but when the water masses drop every 7 years, the island is seen.
Oh.
There's nothing there now. There's nothing there today. I've seen the island. It's covered in the mist of fog. It's covered in the mist of fog because like the only reason it's covered in the mist of fog is because the land mass has dropped around Ireland at that particular time with all the floods or whatever every 7 years. Obviously, the earth has to rechange the value of the continents and sea. and the island appears, but the only thing that's actually on it is the actual the actual tower of the original kings. It's actually there, but it's just an old ruin, you know.
Wow. No,
And that's it.
I tried to get some old maps together off of Wikipedia to see where they put High Brazil, and
Hmm.
it's pretty commonly like just right off the coast there. Eh?
High Brazil is common, like Tirnanog, High Brazil is commonly, it's off the coast of Galway, between Galway and Donegal. It's in between. It's in between that. It's in between that.
Yeah, it's
You
neat.
know. Yeah, it's in between that side, and it's like over legend, like it's supposed to move in between the island and go across in between Britain and come across the other side and go again. Do you know?
Wow.
So, and that's like we're all the feasayers, and I can't actually remember their names who actually said they were on the land. But it's amazing, like when they were actually on that land, because there was nothing there. They couldn't have been on that land because there's nothing there. It's just an island that's
Yeah.
actually in the sea, and it just rises, you know.
Yeah, somebody.
So that actually makes me think. Do you know, like I actually stood on it, and it's just nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
It's just rocks. It's just rocks. I was born in between them, and it's kind of thing like they're just rocks. It's the island is underneath.
Yeah.
You know, and every 7 years it does rise. You know, and it's kind of thing like you can see nothing. All you can see is a mist of fog, and
Yeah.
that's why people want to go. That's why people want to go there, because whatever's in the earth is creating this mist. You know,
Yeah.
because it's like saying, "Oh, it's a spaceship." You know, like that's what some people say.
Huh.
It's a spaceship. It lands every 7 years and shows. You know.
Well, it
But
kind of reminds me of that old story about Planet X or Nibiru that people talk about. How there's like a
yeah,
planet that might come by the Earth every so often and it disappears and then it comes back again. It almost
yeah,
reminded me a little bit about that, but I don't know. I
yeah.
guess it'd be water and not just disappearing, right?
Exactly, and that's kind of like that. It actually make you think because you look at Atlantis.
Yeah.
Atlantis had the same myth, the land of the gold. And
Yeah.
Tiernan was known as the land of the gold because, like you look at the legend of Finn McCool
Okay.
and Brian Boru and all the High Kings, the Mephilim, as they were commonly known.
Yeah.
Like his son Bjorn turned around to his father and said, "Father, I have to go and look at the land of Ireland, right?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Okay, my son." He went off. He went on his travels around Ireland, and he got to the edge of Donegal and Waterford and Wicklow and all of that, and he goes, "Oh, beautiful! Like, it's a beautiful country." Then
Yeah.
he kept traveling on. He kept traveling on the horse Tira. He kept traveling, and he got to the coast of Galway, and all of a sudden he's seen this island in the mist of fog.
Yeah.
And this beautiful horse came out of the water with a beautiful queen called Liston. Came across and goes, "Come with me, Bjorn. I'll show you life." And he thought about it and he goes, "Hang on. You came from there and you travelled across the water." She goes, "Yes, but if you're worried, I can part the sea." And he goes, "Okay." And he thought about it. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll go with you. How long will you be there?" "You'll be there 8 days, you know."
Yeah.
And he didn't think about it. And he got on the horse, left his horse on the bank, got on Tiernan Og, got on the horse, travelled to this island.
Yeah.
And he travelled to this island, and what he seen was beautiful friendship, beautiful love, and happiness. Everyone loved everybody. And the whole place was covered in gold, rune stones,
Wow.
animals he's never seen before. And time passes, and he turns around to Ishta, and he goes, "Sorry, my love, I have to go. I'm here. I'm here, how long am I here? She goes, you're here 100 years. He goes, hang on. How can I be only here 100 years? I came here yesterday. He was
Holy.
sleeping as well. And he goes, I came here yesterday. I need to go back and see my family.
Yeah.
She goes, yes, okay, you can go back, but it's not what you see. And he goes, okay. And he literally, he goes, can I go, my love? And she goes, yes, you can. Your family will remember you. Like, he had 14 kids on this island with this, and like it's kind of like he travelled back onto the land. He travelled back onto the land. This is like this is going into two myths and two legends at the same time. And he got on Tierna Nog, commonly known nowadays as White Brazil, the horse.
Yeah.
He got on that. It was a benevolent horse, but what could travel in any distance across the world. He went back to Ireland, and she shouts from the island, Fionn, don't get off the horse. Don't lean onto the land. When you lean onto the land, you will wither and die.
Holy.
You are not what you see. You're 1 billion years old now, my son. He was married to this woman, and he looked at her and go, yeah, okay, I'm still the same person. And like, when you see that, he went back and he never thought about it. He got on the island, he went back to his father's land within around Kildare, and he went back, nobody was there, the whole land was changed. The whole land was changed. He was travelling, he travelled over the Giant's Causeway all over St. Patrick's land, Croagh Patrick. When he travelled over Croagh Patrick, he was coming back across the land, and he seen the priest. He seen St. Patrick. Nice. He seen St. Patrick, and he wondered. He looked at him, and he goes, "Sorry, Father. What land is this? This is Ireland." You know, and he goes, "Okay, I'm home."
Yeah.
And St. Patrick turned around and goes, "You're an Nephilim." And he goes, "I am, Father. But you're evil. You don't spread the word of love." And he goes, "I've spread the word of love every day of my life." And he goes, "But giants haven't been on this planet for 3,000 years. And he looked at him and goes, "What do you mean, Father?" He goes, "Pick up that stone. Can you do me a favor?" He goes, "I can, Father. Can you move that stone? Can you move that rock?" The rock was literally a mountain. Do you know?
Yeah, like a megalith.
Rock, like a megalith. He goes, "Can you lift that stone for me?" And he goes, "I can, Father. But there's only one thing. I can't get off the horse." And he goes, "No problem." And he never thought anything of it. And he leans forward, starts to pick up the rock and move it to the left to get it out of the way for St. Patrick. St. Patrick literally went and cut the bridle of the horse. And the horse literally, the saddle fell. St. Patrick landed on the land.
Oh.
And he died there and then because he was told not to touch the land.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't meant to go back. He was brought because within the battle, when he left Ireland, that's when the war began. Within the 11, and that's when all the giants were all killed.
Yeah.
Within the island, you know, that's when they were all killed, and like that's where that actual legend comes from.
Wow.
Because it's like saying Bridget, when she knew the Benevolent, and they were all trying to get rid of these, you know.
Yeah.
And then St. Patrick, when he came, he cut the bridle. He didn't have to. Like it's kind of thing like, oh, we don't want them because they're evil. They look horrible, but they might be spreading the word of love, but they're not. You know, and that's why they say St. Patrick banished the snakes out of Ireland.
Yeah.
He basically banished the loved ones. You know.
Oh.
So he basically banished the loved ones. You
Yeah, I've
know,
heard
and
a lot of different theories about what he was banishing. Some people said he was banishing snakes. Some people said it was the Freemasons or the Templars. And then now
hmm,
we're hearing this.
like it makes you think. Like a lot of people, like a guy puts up a video there on Paddy's weekend and St. Patrick banished the South Americans. They're known as the Binyaks, the little small South Africans. Back then they were small and they travelled. This is what he was trying to say. They travelled to this island, and
Okay.
St. Patrick killed them as they're known as leprechauns.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
within the midst of leprechauns, the leprechauns were the little people. We were the little people. We are the little people compared to the Nephilim.
Oh,
And that's where the
yeah.
legend that's where the legend came from. Leprechauns do exist because like you look at certain lands within Ireland, the likes of like Carbery Castle in Carbery in County Meath, certain castles around Ireland. You
Yeah.
go to them in the summer solstice and sit on the hills underneath the castle. You can actually hear fiddles playing when there's no one there.
Wow, like a ghost or something, huh?
It's like a go. They're like the leprechauns and the leprechauns always lived. They always lived under the land. They were
Oh,
the fairy folk. They'll always look after the people.
yeah.
They looked after the High Kings of Ireland, and they looked after the people. Do you know?
Nice.
And it's like saying like when the Americans, I'm not against the Americans, I love them all to bits. When they got this story, they twisted it.
Yeah.
It's like everything, you know. It's like everything. We twist stories through history,
Yeah, it's like
you
the
know.
telephone
And
game. Yeah.
it's like the telephone game. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the new Facebook. People say one thing and it doesn't, they don't understand it. Like you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we had a comment from the viewers here. They were asking about druids. Do you have any information about druids at all? Or
the Druids were basically the Irish belief. What the Druids actually believed was peace and harmony and love. That's all they ever. That's all they ever wanted
yeah,
was love to follow their land, and like all they wanted was Ireland. The Druids, like they travelled all around the world for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
yeah, I believe
And
that too.
you know, and it's kind of thing like that's all they ever wanted. Like it's with all the high kings, like they were druids, and Saint Bridget was a druid, and it's like with every god, with every person. I'm still a druid today
Yeah,
because it's the land it's the land you stand on. If you stand on England, you're still a Saxon. Do you know?
yeah, it's true.
You know, and it's like saying, like Canada, like it's like the Sasquatch or whatever
The Bigfoot, yeah.
people want to see. They manifested all of that.
Now it reminds me of the old saying that the First Nations
They
people have here.
existed. They must have existed because they're all there. You know.
Yeah.
God, I can hear you.
Now I was just going to say the First Nations people got an old saying that what the people believe is true. So I'm a big believer in that too. That we can't underestimate the power of belief, right?
You can't underestimate the power of belief. Is because if we create love, on this planet now at this particular time, love will happen and war won't exist.
Yeah,
That's all the world wants, you know. And like that's all I ever wanted. Look at this phone. That's all I want because the most important thing is love, you
yeah.
know.
No, we
So
definitely need more of that in the world these days. That's for sure.
we do,
Yeah, I just put up a
you know.
map here of the coast of Ireland, and I was looking at the
Okay,
shelf of the ocean, how
yeah,
it goes by, and it almost looks like the shelf. You can tell where the island would be. It's like
yeah,
it's not just a myth or a legend, but we can even look at data here from Google Maps that shows where it looks like there is a
yeah,
spot where there would be an island, right?
yeah. Like I have the maps myself on my phone. Like when I Google it, when people are talking about it,
Yeah.
I go, hang on, that's not what I heard. Do you know? That's
Yeah.
not what I heard. I've heard the likes of white lights in the sky and all of that. And I've actually seen white globes in the sky, literally
Wow.
following me.
Like a
And
UFO,
like
you
I
mean?
was
Or
literally live in one of my feeds about a year ago,
wow.
like getting on the bus and seeing this globe literally following me, and then disappearing, and then coming over the area I'm in. You know, that would freak you out.
Yeah.
And it didn't freak me out. All the young people literally came up and came to me, "Well, what's that?" And I go, "What do you think it is?" They go, "It's a spaceship." And they go, "Do you believe it's a spaceship?" They go, "Yeah, we're seeing it." But I go, "It's not. It's a white light." What does
Yeah.
that tell you? Yeah, but Peter, you're always talking about love. That loves me, so that must love you as well. And the minute they said that, it just disappeared within that light. Do you know, and it was gone.
Wow.
Do you know, and that does open your eyes. Do you know, like it all goes back to the same. We create what we need to create. Do you know?
Yeah, it's
We
true.
create love. That's all Jesus ever wanted, was to create love. Do you know?
Well, some days I look back at the teachings of Jesus and I wonder if he was a pagan the whole time, right? Because when they asked him if he was the king of the Jews, he even told the court that people believed he was, but it was like he never once said that he was, right?
He never once said it. When
Yeah.
you look at the one of the quotes in the Bible, when he was preaching the word of his father. It's even in the book of Enoch, it says it. He was preaching the word of his father,
Yeah.
and the priests of the town brought Mary Magdalene in, and they threw her in front of her, and he looked at her, and he walked over, and he goes, "I forgive you," and he stood up and said, "Who within ye have sinned? Cast the first stone."
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
did? Nobody did. Nobody did. Because everybody sins.
Yeah.
When you're born, you sin. Like I had an argument with people. When a child is born, it sins. Everybody sins. We have to grow up within the sin. Do
Yeah.
you know?
It's part
And
of existence.
that's basically what he was saying. Do you know? That's
Yeah.
basically what he was saying. Is like love is the most important thing. Do you know?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like we all sin, and we're sinning today within war. Do you know?
It's true.
So it all goes back to the same thing: Vikings, the Saxons, and like Columbus. Like when you go back to saying Columbus was the first person to discover America. No, he wasn't. The Vikings are there.
Yeah.
Do you know? And that's been proven today.
Yeah,
You know,
I got some
and
slides
like,
about that for today's show too, actually.
yeah, and that'd actually make you think. That'd actually make you think about history. Do you
Yeah.
know?
Now,
So, you know,
what do you think about the connection between Stonehenge and the Vikings, or I guess High Brazil too? I guess there was a connection between those.
there is a connection, like within the legends of Tirnanog, Stonehenge, and the likes of the Giant's Causeway and all of that. Like they're all like
Yeah.
they were built by the Beneficent. They were built by the giants as a
Yeah.
meeting place. They were the churches to their gods. Do you know, the likes
Yeah.
of like all of these like when you look at Odin. Odin means Wednesday. Odin in English, it's Wednesday. Do you know?
Oh,
Odin was
really?
the god of Wednesday.
Yeah, I
That's
never
where
knew
it comes
that.
from. Yeah, that's where it comes from. Odin means Wednesday. Do you
Wow.
know? Thor means hammer. Do
Yeah.
you know?
Now
So,
there's a
and,
friend. Now there's a friend of mine named JJ Ainsworth, and she was doing some research on the ancient Viking inscription in Denmark, and it's known as the
yeah,
longest runic inscription of like an ancient stone ship site. So I just put a picture from her YouTube channel on the screen, And it's wild how this Stonehenge sort of has like a giant clearing that leads up to the rocks to, I guess,
Okay.
demonstrate how big the Viking ship was. And then they've got some sacred stones aligned at the end. So I was wondering, have you heard about the Denmark site at all too, or no?
I I heard a little bit. I heard a little bit from Gustav Listoff.
Yeah,
He played and most of the cast. I won't name them out. Their official names out in line.
yeah, cool.
Like most of the actors who are in that are from Denmark,
Oh,
and Alexander, I literally say hello, Alexander Goodrick. He's from Scandinavia. They're from all of that. They're from that country.
oh, nice.
And it makes you open your eyes. And he goes, like, their legends are our legends.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's kind of thing. They're all the same. Like it's like the Vikings had the same legends. You know,
Yeah. No, I believe that there
like
is a
they had
connection
the
there.
Vikings had the when you look at the legend of the leprechaun, they had the legend of the loof. It was a sprite but lived under the ground,
Oh,
the
wow.
evil, and that was kind of like you don't hear a lot of that. You know.
Exactly.
You don't
Yeah.
hear a lot of that because all they wanted was land to travel the world and to spread love. But the gods didn't want them to do that. They needed land. The only way you could actually go out and get land is go to war.
Yeah.
And it's still happening today. Do you
No,
know?
I think that's like a lot of the problems of the world today is coming to. It's like it is really boiling down to how much land is left. And people are trying to ignore that fact and try to make it into some sort of other issues and stuff. But it really is coming
Yeah,
down to that, right?
it is coming down to that
Mm.
because like you look like the only country on the planet, right, what's had war since the beginning of time is Iraq.
Yeah.
Do you know, Hitler went to Iraq. The Romans went to Iraq. Everybody went to Iraq.
Yeah.
Like what are they searching for? They're searching for the truth of love and happiness.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Do you
No, I
know?
think Iraq and Iran and that whole area there by the Mediterranean even, it's pretty much had the same history going on for quite a while now where it's one
Yeah,
people after another conquering and taking it over and over again, right?
it's true.
Mm.
Like it's kind of thing like when you look through the back through the history books, it's like it says it in the Bible. When the world understands love, there'll be no more war.
Yeah.
Every land on the earth will have war. And when you look back through the history books, it doesn't say nothing about Ireland. You
No.
know, we've had our wars,
Yeah.
but we've overcome them within love. Because in the end of the day, we fought the war, but they go, hang on, they're a stupid race. England, like that's what they done. England walked away. They tried to want the land. They wanted the land, but they didn't fucking get it. They got half of Northern Ireland, but they gave the land back to the people, the other part.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. It's been taken for thousands of years anyway, so off you go.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what happened. You know, and that's what literally happened because it's like saying, okay, it's happening today. You know, like it's like when Hitler. This is commonly known. You can look it up. Hitler sent a letter to the De Valera at the time when in the Second World War.
Okay.
He sent a letter to the De Valera, and he said, "Don't worry, I won't bomb your land. We don't need a cabbage patch."
Oh, jeez.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's a small land.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Jeez.
And
That's something
you know
else.
that is the first thing he actually said in German in a letter to the president of Ireland. Oh, we don't need your land because it's only a cabbage patch.
Jeez. Too much,
Do
eh?
you know? And he was bombing England every day of the week
Yeah.
because when you actually think, it's like all he was going after was the likes of the same legends, the Malepolin, the Gurins, the Gornans, and all that. Like they were supposed to go into the North Pole and go underground.
Yeah,
And
the whole
Hitler
Earth.
actually went there. Do you know? And, like the Irish have went there like over the years, and like it's kind of thing. Like there's something there. There's
Yeah.
something there. There's something there. We don't know what's beneath. We don't know what's beneath our feet.
Wow.
We can send. Well, I won't go into the conspiracy theory of people having been on the moon. But
Yeah, I want to
like,
do a
we
whole show
don't
on
know.
that.
We actually don't know what's actually on our own land. What's underneath
True.
our land. We don't know what's on it. We don't even actually know what's in the sea.
Yeah, we still got a lot of exploring to do
and that's
here.
the problem. Like the knew thousands of years ago what was underneath the sea, because like they've seen it every day of the week. Do you know? They've seen it because the levels of the sea were lower. Do you know what they are today?
Yeah,
Do you
it's
know?
true. No, I was.
You know, like,
I'm glad you brought up the point about Columbus coming to America first, and how it wasn't really the case, and it was more likely the Vikings. I was
yeah,
wondering, have you heard about the Stonehenge that we have up in northern Canada?
I did. I heard that through a friend from Canada,
Nice.
and he's in the process of actually going out there in the next 2 weeks and going live
Oh, no
out there.
kidding. Yeah, I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
going
he's
there in a
actually
couple of weeks too.
he's actually going to do it. You know?
Well, that's cool because yeah, I brought up that other Stonehenge, the ruins in Denmark there, because that design actually happens to match the one that we have here in Canada. How it has that same runway leading
Yeah.
up to rocks that were aligned. So I started doing a little bit of digging in that, and I noticed that if you look at the world map, Stonehenge is across from the Irish Sea, and then you got Dublin on the other side, right?
You got Dublin on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, so I took a map of our Stonehenge, and it's actually across a lake, and we have a city called Dublin across from it also. So I was like, isn't that kind of neat that you guys have a Stonehenge and a Dublin, and we do too, right?
It is like our Stonehenge would be it would be like there's in Kildare alone. There's all over County Kildare. There's stones within every field.
Yeah,
They're little monarchs making a path, and they're literally going to all the holy. They're literally leading to all the holy places on the planet.
yeah. Seems like volcanic activity in the
All the
ancient
Lebanon
time.
and all, and
Yeah,
like the likes of Newgrange in Ireland. It was built 3 billion years ago,
wow.
and like when the summer solstice comes across, the sun goes dark, and you can see, and it points to all the metal licks around the earth. It literally Stonehenge lights up at the exact same time.
Yeah, that's what ours
They
does
all
too.
light up at the exact same time. The passage comes through, and within the legend, it's known as the porthole to the gods.
Wow.
You know, and it's kind of thing like, okay, what are they trying to tell us? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
No,
that's
I put on the screen some of our largest blocks from our Stonehenge, and they line up with the
yeah.
equinox too. Like the sun on the equinox or the solstice goes right over the blocks. So there's so much that the two sites have in common. And there's actually a legend
There is.
too that there was giants involved here in North America. So I was wondering if that giant thing is just a coincidence, or it's amazing how many cultures seem to say the same thing, huh?
It is. It like it makes you think. Like when you look through certain legends, you look at the legends of Stonehenge and the Giant's Causeway and all of that. You always hear the name, the likes of Lula, Valinda, and the likes of like the wizards coming and giving knowledge
Yeah,
to the world.
exactly. I like to
You
call
know,
them the Magi.
you'll always hear that.
Yeah.
The legend of fucking the sword and the stone.
Oh yeah.
That's been transferred from generation to generation. Do you know?
Yeah, I really like that one too. Okay.
You know,
So
and it all translates back to the same thing, love.
yeah,
Because why did they build these all these monoliths around the world what are actually still here today, but they're never corroded.
yeah.
But man is built around them, and they go, oh no, they mean nothing.
Wow.
They mean something, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
No, it's pretty
so
cool that our Stonehenge actually was constructed, I guess, after the Ice Age, because the Ice Age
yeah,
happened to push all the rocks away. So these are the only rocks that are there. So it's pretty obvious that they were moved there. And they got these balancing stones that are the shape of pyramids put underneath them to prop them up right on the right angles. And then the First Nations people still use it as their holy site today, too.
they
So
do,
some
and
people think that they're just natural rocks, but even the scientists agree that there's definitely something to this place.
there is something to it. When you actually look, like people have actually tried to bring them and recreate that, like with on wood, like it's not possible
Yeah, or
to
it's
drive
really
down from
difficult. Yeah,
from, from like 100 mile down the sea on stones. To try it, it's not possible.
no, I
Like
think giants. Yeah,
how did they build a path like to go to Stonehenge and from Ireland, like to build a path. It literally all ended up on Stonehenge.
yeah,
It was the path to the land, like to the metalin and to their god is what they believe, the pagans.
yeah,
It all ended up back to the same thing, you know. And
yeah,
Jesus was there, like when you think about it, like they must have believed in some form of Jesus,
yeah.
you know.
Well, there's the
He's
missing
like in the
years
book
of
of Enoch.
Jesus too, right?
It says certain quotes. I won't quote them, but it said when within love within the being, you will see. You know, and that open your eyes.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. No, it's pretty
you know.
cool too that our Canadian government came to this Stonehenge site up north, and they did a big survey about it in 1990. Then they got the location of all the blocks to like map it out, but then that
Yeah,
publication was never given, so it was sort of like covered up. And then the ministry actually went in there and allowed all the trees to grow in around the Stonehenge so that people couldn't see it, and they took down all the signs. And then they said they did it to stop vandals from destroying it. But I was always wondering, like, there's only not a lot of people up there, so I almost wonder it sounds fishy that they would like
it does
hide it
sound
like that,
fishy.
right?
You know, like you look, like talking about legends. There's a place in China,
Yeah,
and it's not slightly going off the topic, but it's known as the forest of death. And
okay.
like when everyone goes there, people disappear for no particular reason. And like they're saying, like if you look, like they can find legends on YouTube and
Yeah,
and on Google Maps. And like when you actually look through that, when you actually say,
it's restarting it now so that can get it going again. Not sure how it got shut down, but I'll try to look into
yeah,
that after. Oh, okay, it's back up and going now. All right. Yeah, the reason I brought up the Cain and Abel thing is because next door to Stonehenge, we actually got an offering table, and I know that the Cain and Abel story had to do with offering tables. So I was like, huh,
yeah,
that's kind of neat. And then I was wondering, like, what's the connection between offering table shapes and a Stonehenge? And then I happened to notice that the Stonehenge that you guys have is the same shape as an offering table.
yeah.
So I was
Like
like, maybe there is a connection between those two.
there has to be a connection because like why would they build tables like they're commonly known as
Yeah.
sacrifice tables. Why would they build tables within every continent in the world where they're the exact same in the exact same position within the bylines? They're all built on the bylines of the planet. There
Yeah.
actually are there actually are all built on the bylines of the planet. Do you know?
Yeah, it
And
makes
that'll make
sense.
you think. Do you know?
No, and it's weird too
So
that that lake that we got next to our Stonehenge has the image of like a shaman or like a holy man wizard, like
Yeah.
carved right into the shape of the lake. And then that shaman matches one that's from South America. And then we got a legend up here saying that the giants were actually able not to just build Stonehenges, but they were able to shape the lakes themselves too. So I was like, wouldn't it be wild if the giants not only built that, but also put images in nature, like in the shore of a lake for us to find as a clue?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because like you look at the legend of Brian Boru and Finn McCool, right? When Brian Boru was a Scottish benevolent king giant,
yeah,
and when he raided, when he wanted to raid, he wanted to raid Ireland, and Brian Boru, Finn McCool's parents said, "Hang on, you know,
yeah,
like to go, okay, we have a pram, we have a pram, we put them onto the Giant's Causeway, and when the king from England came over, the benevolent, when he came over, he looked over and he goes to this, he looked over and goes, Jesus, who's this? This is Fionn. That's your son. Yeah, he's only 6 months old. And he goes, oh jeez, we don't need to take over this land if your babies are that big.
wow.
Do you know? That's like Finn McCool just literally decided to get into a pram and say, like, fuck this, you're not raiding our country. So if the giants are that big, bigger than him,
Yeah,
like he was the same size, but he was a baby. He was wrapped in a nappy, in a cloth nappy, in baby clothes, with a suitor in the mouth,
jeez.
and the whole lot. And that's he goes, whoa! I'm going back to Scotland.
I'm gonna have to
You
read
know?
more about these legends from Ireland and Scotland because a lot of it I've never heard before, and some really cool stuff that relates to all my
Like it's like
research.
it all ends up back to the same theory. Are we alone in the universe? You know, it all ends up back. God came down in the beam of light.
Yeah,
Mary was born in the Immaculate Conception, and it all ends up back to that.
yeah,
Love exists to the same thing. You know, Jesus wouldn't be here if it wasn't for love.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
No, and it's kind of neat to think that Cain could have been here in America because part of the Bible says that he built a city called Enoch, like the book you mentioned before, and
Yeah,
he named his first city after it, and he named the city Enoch. And then it turns out
that's
that
right.
the city that's buried underneath Mexico today just happens to be named the same thing, T. Enoch Titlan. And it's weird
Yeah,
because this city seems to match all of the information that we have about Atlantis. So it's like, isn't it weird that Atlantis could be under Mexico City, and a lot of people aren't talking about it, right?
yeah. I actually heard that now. It's actually interesting when you actually said that.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
because it's a lot of people don't believe it because they're always looking for Atlantis to be underwater. But what they don't realize is the Spanish actually drained all the water that was around this city. It used to be underwater. So it was
Yeah,
like that's why that we don't really associate it with that. Yeah, in this same city too, fell out of favor with the gods and was wiped out by a great flood. And then it went through different phases of being repopulated over the ages. And it was known as the most biggest city in the ancient times. Like it had over 200,000 people living in it.
okay.
And then if you put it on the map, across from Gibraltar is exactly where it is. And then it happens to cross over the Bibony Road too, that Edgar Casey always talked about, right? So it's like, I don't know how many of these things are going to line up to point at Atlantis being underneath Mexico, but sure is a lot of it. And imagine if the
Maybe
giants were really
maybe
involved.
maybe that's why he wants to build a wall because they want to hide the truth.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, that wall idea is,
It's not only because they want to stop to stop all the drugs coming into the world or stop all of this and stop all of this. Like it all ends up back to the same thing. What's here? When
Yeah.
you go on research, like certain, like within Ireland, if you find, say, the likes of a quartz crystal on top of your land,
Okay.
on the land, up above the land, you have to claim that.
Oh, really?
You know, if it's above the land, it's yours. But if you go down, say, 30 feet, it's owned by the land. It's owned by the governments.
Yeah. Yeah, they
You
call
know,
it crown land here. Yeah.
they call it, yeah, the crown win, and
Yeah.
it's, yeah, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, it's like saying, like, I was, like, when we were doing an episode of the Vikings,
Yeah.
we were in a quarry, a quartz quarry, and all the quartz, it's literally all around the place. They don't mine it. They mine the topsoil to build roads,
Yeah.
you know? And it's taken out of this country, and it's brought to Canada to put onto the roads, and it's brought all over the world for the topside of the roads, and that makes me think, you know.
Now, one of these days, I hope that we can actually start mining space so we don't have to destroy the planet so much to do it.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Hopefully
You
in
know,
our
you look
lifetimes.
like talking about space. You look at Richard Branson,
Yeah.
right? He was supposed to go up into the atmosphere this year,
Yeah.
and all of
Spaceship
a
One.
sudden, yeah, up into Spaceship One. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, it stopped. They're not doing it now.
Oh, they really canceled it, eh?
Yeah, they really cancelled it. Why did they cancel it? You know,
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
he won't come in. He won't come in. Like, that's why I want to know. Like, I priced the ticket, and I'm mother of God, man. It was nearly $4.5 grand.
Yeah.
Like, who in the right mind would pay $4.5 grand to go up into outer space to see what's up there?
Yeah.
I would, but
Yeah.
like, you know, maybe he didn't get enough. Maybe he probably didn't get enough money. You know,
Yeah.
so all the rich people are probably being up there already.
Yeah, the secret space
You know?
program, they could have already colonized
Yeah,
Mars for
secret
all we
space
know.
program. You're talking about the secret space program. Corey Wood. I'll mention his name.
Yeah.
You heard of Corey Wood?
Corey Wood? No, I don't think I have heard of him.
Corey Wood. You could go into conspiracy. You can go into all of this, the space program.
Yeah.
Corey Wood was born in England in the 70s,
Cool.
and in the last 4 years, he's after coming out and saying he was part of a space program.
Wow.
And like, I watch him all the time on YouTube,
Yeah.
and when you mention his name, the likes of like the ancient aliens are involved in it, within his theories.
Yeah.
The likes of the blue aliens, the blue aliens they're part of the what do you call them? The family of 9.
Okay.
They're part of the family of 9, the protectors of the planet.
Oh, sick.
And that's what he was like. That's what Corey Wood. He said he was in the Antarctic. He was underneath the sea. He's been in all these mythical lands. They've travelled back in time. He's been there, and they showed him. And now he literally says it's time for him to come out and tell the truth.
Jeez.
You know, that's all he ever says.
Yeah, I'll
you know?
check his work out. No, usually when it comes to the secret space program, I always listen to Billy Carson's videos. He does a
I've
pretty
listened to
good-
Billy Carson. Corey Wood is part of Billy Carson.
Oh, okay.
He was
cool.
one of the first people. He was one of the first people to approach.
Yeah, if anyone
know?
wants to jump into the archive, I was lucky to get Billy Carson
Yeah.
on the show back in December. All right, so
Yeah.
I guess we're getting pretty close to time for the show. Did you want to summarize for people what kind of projects you got working on, or I guess you're still doing Vikings, right?
I'm still doing the Vikings. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm in the process of trying to sort out something with my government.
Yeah.
Won't go into that detail, but yeah, we're in the end of season 6 at the
Nice.
moment. So, and we're officially on a break.
Oh, okay,
So-
cool.
We're officially on a break, and it's all based on what actually happened between Ivan the Boneless and like why the way he was
Oh, okay.
within season 5 and season 6.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the fans of your show are going to be happy to hear about that because,
It's all
man,
it's all you see. It's like saying, what's the worst disability in the world? Ignorance
yeah.
is the worst disability in the world. Ivan the Boneless, he couldn't walk.
Oh,
He
really?
was handicapped, and he couldn't walk, but he could see. And he learned, like within the power of his hands, he learned how to shoot a bow,
Sick.
and he knew how to laugh at his aggressors. He go,
Yeah.
"Fuck you." You know what I mean? I have no legs. You can pull me, but I'm still loved. But he was
Wow.
one of the biggest tyrants. He killed his own people because he believed in his form of love. Do you know?
Yeah. No,
And
I'll have
that'd
to
make
check
you
that
think.
out.
Do you know? He believed in his form of love. Do you know?
Yeah, that's different, huh?
So it is different, and it's kind of thing like he wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for the legends. Like Ragnar Lothbrok was his father, but his mother wasn't. His mother was another mother. If you watch the series, I'm not going into the names
Yeah.
for reasons I can't
Yeah. Oh, I
because it'll
understand.
probably be
Yeah.
killed. Copyright. Um,
Yeah.
but you look at all of that, like the likes of Ragnar Lothbrok and all the Shield Maidens. You know, you look at all of that. Like the seer literally turn around to Ivan, to Ragnar and goes, "When you see the blind man, your death will come." He resonated that, Ragnar did himself.
Jeez.
He resonated that himself. And it's like saying, okay, he's seen the blind man looking at him, but and you go, whoa, but your man wasn't blind. Your man literally looked around and he goes, when you see the blind man looking at him, and he goes, oh, I'm going to my death. Do you know?
Wow.
That's what, that, even in the history books, it literally says that. Do you
Nice.
know?
No, I'm gonna have to check out the show.
Vikings and all.
Now,
You know?
I usually
No,
don't watch
back
too
to
much
the
TV.
thing.
No, I usually don't
Yeah,
watch too much
because
TV, but I'm gonna make time to watch Vikings now because I'm really interested in it.
I don't watch a lot of TV. The only program I really watch, as I say, I watched because I love my girlfriend. I watch a TV program every night when it's on, and it's called Fair City, and it's an Irish program. She loves it,
Nice.
but I watch it because she likes it.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I could be live talking to watching someone other feed or whatever, or doing something, but I literally watch it. I literally know what's going on within the TV series because I know most of the actors that are in it, and it's so funny watching them because I was actually in it. Do you know? And
That's
it
wild.
makes you think. Do you know? It makes you think because, like, the word, we create what we need to create to love. Do you know? Like, I don't watch the news. I hate the news.
Yeah, it's too
And
depressing.
when you look at the weather, the weather is not what we see. Do you know? Not in
Yeah.
this day and age.
No,
Do
with
you know?
harp and all that stuff, it makes you wonder the chemtrails.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the world, talking about weather, the world, right, are getting all of this weird snow. It's not snow.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
when
you
you
guys
look- when
got
you
snow.
Yeah, the world, everywhere is getting snow. Egypt has got snow. South Africa's got snow. Australia's expecting snow in about 2 months. They're saying
Jeez.
they're expecting snow. When you see that, like Ireland hasn't got, like Paddy's weekend, St. Patrick's weekend, they didn't get snow in 200 years
Yeah.
on Paddy's weekend. And on the news or whatever, the weather, they literally said it was going to snow at 9:30 on the dot. And I go, hang on. How can they predict what time it's going to bleed in snow?
Yeah.
Walked into the pub on the Saturday night Paddy's weekend playing music. Walked in, it wasn't snowing. One of the band members rang the other guy because his equipment was in the car. He was playing the gig the following night. He goes, "I'm taking me time. The car is covered." It was covered in snow within a matter of 20 minutes.
Jeez.
The minute it hit 9:30, the whole of Ireland, the whole of County Kildare was covered in snow. The whole of County Kildare and Dublin and bits of Waterford and Wicklow were all covered in the base of an hour. In the base of an hour. One day, the whole of Kildare was covered. Kildare was covered in snow. Over snow. The whole of County Kildare. And they actually say Dublin, "Oh yeah, it's going to snow Paddy's Day." Bits of water. Everyone going, bollocks. Do you know? No one actually went to the bookies to put money on this. Do you know?
Jeez. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder.
It actually snowed at 9:30 on the dot.
No, sometimes I wonder.
The time and date. It's going to snow at 9:30 on Paddy's Day at 9:30, and it snowed exactly 9:30 on the dot.
Jeez. Now I wonder if maybe
that actually make you think about torch. You know?
Yeah. Now some days I wonder if the pole shift that everyone's talking about might actually be happening too, right?
Yeah, I'm actually. I thought about that myself because you look at. I've got videos sent to me about certain ice, certain islands within ice actually breaking away and floating across the sea, across the earth.
Yeah.
And when they get to a certain point, they're not melting. They're literally sitting there and they're melting, and islands are appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you know?
No, maybe we will see High Brazil one day again too.
Hopefully we do, because they reckon it's every 7 years. So the last time it appeared was what? I'm not very good at dates.
Yeah, me neither.
2000,
I usually let other people figure those out.
2009 or something. And it was supposed to appear this year, but we missed the fog. But I didn't hear anything about it, an island appearing off the coast of Ireland, and it missed the fog this year.
No, maybe they're actually advanced enough that they have some sort of cloaking technology on that island too. I don't know if they could be that advanced. Huh. All right, so what I did is I took a little screenshot from your Facebook page. Is this the best way for everyone to get a hold of you? I guess you have to send Peter voice chat instead of text-based stuff too, right?
Yeah, you have to, because I'm dyslexic. I read backwards.
Yeah.
And it like when I'm on a lot of the feeds, and I'm proud of this, I use speaking text.
Yeah.
And
it works well.
Speaking text, it doesn't understand you, and it's kind of thing like your voice is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like God, like Jesus couldn't read and write. Like when you actually see, could Jesus? Like, we don't know if Jesus could read and write or not.
No.
You know. So like I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud to be an actor, typecast actor.
Yeah.
And like when you brought up that, like someone asked me on Messenger there a couple of weeks ago.
Sure.
He goes, "How do you do your lines?"
Oh,
I go, but in a message, how do you do your lines in the speaking text? I go, hang on, that's like, they're asking me, okay, right? And I gave them the answer. It's, they put a little piece in your ear here. They cover it up with, makes it look like an ear, and they bring it down. It's a little Bluetooth headpiece.
Oh, cool.
And they speak your lines to you.
Oh, nice.
Like, actors get frustrated when they're actually going around. I get me when you actually remember lines. You can't remember it. You're going to twist them.
Yeah.
You're going whatever your mind sees. You know. And
exactly.
It's like when you can't, like, a lot of actors get twisted up in the words. A lot of actors are dyslexic, and that's why they have the headpieces in their ear, and they have an assistant shouting saying the words, and that's why a lot of the time. You see them looking to the side, and then their lines come out.
Yeah.
Do you know? because
exactly.
it's, you know, like Tom Cruise is dyslexic
Oh,
if
is
he
he
wants to
too?
believe
Yeah.
in Scientology. You know,
Yeah, I used to like a
so
lot of Tom Cruise movies. He's not so
yeah,
popular
still,
anymore, but
I still watch them. You know,
yeah,
and
that's cool.
they're all going into the alien conspiracies now, and
Yeah. Now, I was going to ask you that too. Does the cast of Vikings have any cool interest in these subjects too, or is it mainly you? Or
yes, there's a lot of the background cast and a lot of the main cast.
yeah,
Will actually have very interesting stories. When you actually sit around listening to the stories, like all the people around Ireland, when you listen, like, I have a few friends that live up in the mountains,
nice.
and they'll tell me stories I never even heard of about the legends of the leprechauns and the legends of the Yepelin, and it's weird. Even people from Scotland, and there's people from South Africa who are in the TV series The Vikings now at this particular time, and they'll tell you the same stories.
No
You
kidding.
know, and it opens your eyes.
Wow,
You
that's
know,
incredible.
it'll actually open your eyes, and it's like, and when someone comes up and tells you we love you, and they go, okay, you know, that makes me think they're asking me my story, and then they'll tell me the same story, and they'll go, this is what we heard through our time, and it's amazing how your story is the exact same as ours.
Yeah.
Do you know?
No, it's
So
weird. Like, seems like all the mythology of the pagans around the world is pretty much the same. The only one that
yeah,
argues with them is the church.
yeah, there's the only people that actually argues with the church.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and it's like saying the G8, like, it's all the powers in the world meeting, and we don't know what goes on there. Never
Yeah.
did for thousands of years. Never did, and then, well, we never will. Hopefully we do someday.
Yeah.
You know, so it all goes back to the same thing: religion.
Yeah, it's true.
What are they hiding? And High Brazil, in our history, as I said, it's commonly known as Tirnanog. The land, it's one of the islands that are free.
Yeah.
So, and it was the same thing in the Viking mythology as well.
Cool.
And when the Vikings came to Ireland, they seen the Irish as the same as them, just wanted land,
Yeah.
and they settled here and they lived here for hundreds of years. So, like, that makes me think,
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like, even doing the TV series The Vikings and listening to the stories and listening to the different people talk and from different races and saying, like, they're even saying this resonates with them because Vikings were in Australia or in South Africa, and you're going, really? It does open your eyes.
Yeah.
You
No, I
know,
think
it
we're
does open
lucky to
your
be
eyes.
in this generation because it's like we're getting the disclosure of history that other generations never got, right? We're going to be the
Yeah,
first.
yeah, but they don't know.
Yeah.
You know. So, like, and it said the last thing it said. It's in the book of Enoch, and it's in the book of the Quran. It's in all books. Is when the people on the planet sees God for what He really is, the world will understand the word of God, and Jesus is my Son. When
Yeah.
the world sees this, the world will be in love and happiness.
No, I
And
think
that
times are changing and maybe we're actually going to
times
come
are
to that
changing.
point. Yeah.
You know.
Now, the First Nations people
No,
here have a really cool story about like saying that 7 generations were going to pass before this would happen, and that's the generation that we're at now. So,
this
oh,
is there's a generation,
yeah,
and a lot. Like, I'm getting a lot of friend requests. I can't really accept them all on Facebook because me
yeah, you'll max
it's
it
full
out.
now. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of friend requests from Australia, South Africa, and they want to come out and tell their stories, and they're coming out and telling their stories,
Yeah,
and that opens my eyes.
No,
So,
that's what I'm
and
hoping. Like we keep telling people about the different Stonehenges around the world, and we tell them how important they are. It's gonna really change history for the better if we can get the word out there.
there's
Yeah,
there's a need to be told even all these monoliths around the planet. Like it's like when I start first doing me like over the years, start doing me history. Like it's what you hear in school. You're going, hang on. There's even teenagers coming up to me and going, like history is bullshit.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
and they're looking into it and they're going, hang on. Like the pyramids are built with quartz crystal. They were they're going like there's the Baghdad factory
Yeah,
and there's this like what like and they go like you can get an orange, put two wires into it, two copper wires, put two copper wires around another wire, put it in and put a light. The light will a bulb will light within the power of the orange, like you
wow.
know. And that's
Yeah,
all the Baghdad was acid. That's all it was. Like they had lights billions of years ago, and it was
yeah.
free energy. You know, so like William Tesla wasn't a fool.
No,
You
it's
know,
true. No, I
but not a
think
lot of
that too.
people
Like
call him a fool.
we're getting to the age now where if we can get the technology that the ancient people were using, that's probably going to kick our generation into like a new golden age. Because there's a lot of stuff the ancients were doing that we should know by now, right?
We should know
Yeah,
because like that's what William Tesla was trying to actually do.
yeah.
Because like when you actually look at all the monoliths around the country, around the world, was there a power source sending free electricity around the world?
Hmm.
And you're going, hang on, yeah, and it's the same. It's the same thing all the way through history.
Yeah. No, I
It's the
often
same
wonder
thing.
that. Like those magic
Yeah.
carpet stories we hear about from like the Middle East. It's like, what happens if those magic carpets were running on wireless electricity? Then they would have a power source to power them, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it's possible. Tesla was just reinventing some of the stuff that already existed a long time ago.
Mm, it's true
Yeah,
because he was literally he was involved. He seen something. Like I'm not ashamed to say I've said this on me page loads of times. I'm not ashamed to say I've seen flying saucers.
yeah, me too.
No, I don't want a cup of coffee, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have it now in a minute. But,
no, I guess
you
we
tell
should.
someone not to disturb you, they always do. That's within their own mind. But
No, that's no
uh,
problem. We're getting close to the end of the interview anyway, so
yeah, it's like history always repeats itself,
yeah,
always.
cycles. Yeah,
And yeah, it's the cycles, and the sooner the better the world sees and looks at all history in the world and says, "Hang on, this is it," you know.
yeah. No, I
Oh,
really
and
appreciate you
it's
coming on the show.
that, you know, it's true what Bob Dylan said. I quote Robert Zitterman:
Sure.
"Times are now changing,"
Yeah,
you know. And it's kind of thing like I play music, as I said in the beginning. Like I close my eyes,
yeah,
like when I play music, and it's when you learn the chords, like it's your mind what remembers. You don't need to see to see the chords. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I
You
can
know?
whistle any song that I hear, but I don't know how to read music, so it's like I guess
Yeah,
that's the same thing,
yeah.
right?
Like there's a every Thursday night there's a blind man what plays with us, and he came up to me and he touched me and he goes, "You can see, but you close your eyes when you're playing music, and what you don't realize is you're playing the music from the God. You're playing music from the gods." And he said that to me about whoa,
Yeah, that's deep.
do you know, like it's
Jeez.
like, and he literally looked around. The barman goes, "There's your pint," and he goes, "It's three, that's 2 feet up," and he got up off his chair, put down the guitar, and went to the pint and went back to the seat. And he's
Wow.
only there 2 weeks, and we're thinking like, whoa, like he knows within vibration where he's going,
Yeah,
do you know?
Yeah,
Like
that's
we need to
wild.
write. We it's starting to open my eyes. You know, it is literally starting to open my eyes. Like within Tourette's, there's a guy there with Tourette's
Okay.
who was starting to play. He plays in a Celtic band as well. And when he feels to curse, he always said he picked up the whistle and started playing.
Ah,
You know, he picks up the whistle because he picks up the guitar. It's your mind telling you to believe. And when he said that to me last night, and I go, whoa, that's all I ever believed.
yeah. Do you guys record your music at all or no?
We do. I recorded. I went live. I went live last night at 9:30,
All right.
about 10 o'clock in the pub, and Facebook wouldn't let it through.
Oh, okay.
It was literally blocked. I went to save it on my timeline,
Yeah.
and it didn't go through
Now, I
for
was
some
going to say,
reason.
if you manage to record some in the future and you want to play it on the show, you're welcome to come back anytime. I could give the
Yeah,
viewers a taste of how the music sounds.
yeah,
Oh, that's
that'd be
cool.
interesting.
All
You
right,
know,
cool.
because like what we're actually doing is we'll sit there and like we call him the teacher, Shawnee Smullen. He's a brilliant, lovely man, a brilliant friend,
Yeah.
and he learned how to play the banjo in the dark. And
Wow.
he in between every chord, he'll shout C, D, E, F, A. And it doesn't matter what chord you're going into, it's the same chord, but if he goes into C, you have to be an E. C. It's kind of, every chord is reversed, you
Ah,
know? Every chord is reversed. Like music, it's like when you play music, if you listen to any band, they're not in sync.
yeah.
You know, they're playing the same chords, but they're not actually playing them in the same. They're not actually playing them within the same time, within
Okay.
the same time frame as say if you were playing the guitar,
Yeah.
right, and I'm looking at you. I'm not going to be at the same time as you. I'm going to be a little bit. I'm going to be behind you.
Yeah.
You're getting the same chord again within 5 minutes. You know, and that's where it's reversed. You know,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah, I think I got you there.
it's interesting music. Like there's one song where I'd love to actually play the the song of it's the song of the gods, and it's like no one's actually played it, you
Yeah.
know, and it's written down, and it's kind of thing like it's probably one of the hardest tunes in the world,
Holy.
do you know, like Vincent van Gogh done it within the painting of the what's his name done it
Hmm.
the Last Supper.
Oh,
You
yeah.
actually look, there's chords within that, in all of that,
Like
and
the Da
I've
Vinci
tried it,
Code.
and mother of God, you can't do it, you know. It's called it was basically called the music of the gods,
Yeah.
and it's kind of thing like it's actually in that, it's actually in that painting of
Oh.
what Leonardo painted.
Yeah,
It's
there's so
actually
many
in that
different
painting.
layers of meaning to that painting, it seems. There's the M in
Yeah,
there, there's chords,
there's the
there's
end, and like we've tried it, and like even on the piano, and like your finger, like you're going, your fingers get sore,
yeah.
you know, your fingers get sore,
Yeah. No,
you
I'd just
know,
like to,
you
to,
know.
to thank you too before we wrap up the show for coming on and talking about High Brazil and the Stonehenge stuff and all the Vikings because man, Vikings is so popular right now and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that like maybe people will start hearing more about the Stonehenges around the world and we can help protect
Yeah,
them. So you're really doing some amazing work by coming on my show and I can't thank you enough for doing it.
that you're welcome, because when I can't remember that man's name, that young chap who contacted me.
Oh, Derek, yeah.
Like when Derek was barred off Facebook, I was watching him a couple of times,
Yeah.
and it's kind of thing like we're being stopped for speaking our mind. And when I went on, he goes, whoa. I started telling him the legend about Hyber's Hill, and like it's the legend of Hyber's Hill is not commonly known as Turin Ogan, our history.
Yeah. No, we don't really
You know,
learn much about it here, right? That's for sure.
yeah. You know, it's like the modern day, it's all YouTube and it's kind of thing like broken legends and
Yeah.
broken this and broken that. He goes like people laugh when you talk to the Irish. We're the tick race. That's all you hear.
Yeah. Now, what I'm starting
You
to do
can't be
these
that
days is I'm starting to call
yeah,
the Roman history mythology, and I'm going to start calling the Irish history history, right?
yeah.
Because there's no point in
You know,
calling some other culture's thing mythology when it's like it's not. Everyone has their own history, right? I don't know why we
mm,
call some people's mythology and other people get called history, but hopefully we'll get
yeah.
that more on a level playing field one day.
It's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks
Uh,
again for being on the show, and if
that's
you're up for
no
coming
problem
on
at all.
again,
Is this linked to Facebook or will I have to transfer it from YouTube? That's another question on
yeah, what
your
happened
life
was is
there.
the show got split up into two links on Facebook. So what I'm going to do after is I'm going to edit it together into one video and put it onto YouTube. So I'll be able to get you a link that has the whole thing in one.
Okay.
Because right now it's got two videos. I'm not sure why it cut us off there, but we were able to get back on. So we only missed about a minute, maybe not even.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing weird about Facebook. They let certain people go over the hour, and then don't let other people go over the hour.
Yeah,
When you speak the truth, what is the truth?
I think
Love, happiness, and kindness.
now once you
You
get
know.
into those sensitive subjects, it seems like Facebook is a lot more careful and cuts people off. But if you wanted to talk about the latest pop stars on TV, you could talk all day without getting cut off.
Yeah, yeah, and you talk about your chakra, you talk about crystals, you talk about this. Oh, let's block them
Yeah,
because, like, it's like saying like when you look at certain people, like the likes of David Hopkins, like he's big into crystals,
yeah.
and all he wants to build is a crystal grid,
Oh,
you know, and that's all he wants to do. And the likes of the shaman poet, like they're literally coming out and saying the likes of this, and if you don't believe in yourself, nothing will come. And it's the truth, you know.
yeah.
You have to believe in yourself to manifest everything, you know.
No, it's
That's all
true.
God ever wanted is love, happiness, and kindness,
No, I
you
do a
know.
radio show every week on CKWR 98.5 FM. That's one of the things I repeat almost every episode is never underestimate the power of belief. Belief is a lot
Yeah,
powerful
everyone.
than
Yeah,
people realize. It's how
yeah,
all of Jesus' miracles worked because when he was in his hometown, his own people didn't believe him as much, so his miracles didn't work as good. But when he traveled to a faraway land, all of a sudden his miracles
yeah.
worked a lot better because people are able to believe someone from a far off place than believing in someone that they already knew. Right?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. You know. So
All right. Well, I guess thanks again for being on the show, and I should let you
that was it.
go.
It was an honor. It was an honor, my friend, and
Well,
I hope we meet in person soon because we like there's a plan for everything,
yeah.
you
No,
know,
that'd be
and that's
cool.
what I
Yeah.
believe, and I always did because
Are
there
you
is a plan.
are you going to be staying in
Everything.
Ireland, or are you traveling around the world soon? Or
I hope to travel around the world
oh,
because
nice.
the Irish government are literally trying to stop me from leaving my country now. I won't
Oh,
get into the detail or whatever, but I put a couple of blogs up there
yeah.
on my Facebook page just because I marched for cannabis. They're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to, you know, they're trying to stop this now. This, that, and the other, and you know, you
No, we're
broke the
lucky.
law, broke no law because you know, because they planted drugs on me, you know.
No, Canada's gone through a
So
lot of different things like that too, but we got our legalization stuff coming up in July, so
you
keeping my
have, yeah,
fingers crossed it won't be as bad here soon.
hopefully,
Yeah.
you know. Like I have friends, like I smoke cannabis for the natural, the herb, weed, you
Yeah.
know. Like I've tried tablets, I've tried them, and mother of God, I'd still have the pain.
Yeah.
And if I don't have, if I don't have the weed, I'd rather do without it. And it's kind of thing, and have the pain. Like when you have the pain, you're in constant stress. Do you
Yeah.
know? Like,
No,
I'm
it's
not going
true.
to take tablets what I don't know what's fucking in them. Do you know what I
No.
mean?
Yeah, I used to take
It's,
ibuprofen for my back all the time, but it completely destroyed my stomach lining, so I can't
yeah,
take them anymore
yeah.
either.
Do you know? Like it's like codeine, chloride, and all of that, and that's in the water.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's in. Like, it makes you think. Do you know?
Yeah.
Does it makes you think? We won't like it's kind of thing. We won't get into that topics because you know
Yeah.
pharmaceutical companies.
No, we could do a whole show
So,
just on
Sam,
that,
it's
I
nice
guess.
talking to you.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming on the show, and I'll just thanks to Derek for putting us in touch with each other too, in case he's
That's no
watching.
problem at all.
Cool. So I'll give
And
you
I
I'll give you a shout when I finish editing the video and get you that link so that you're able to share it.
no problem at all. And I'll say Gurumi Mahago.
Okay. Happy Easter and nice to meet you.
No problem. Gurumi Mahago goes my friend in Irish.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
That
No,
would
my
be
family's
yeah,
part Welsh, so I know a little bit of that, but no, I guess it's
yeah,
not the same as Irish, right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, take
Thanks
care
very
and
much.
nice to meet you.
I will indeed.
Okay.
Peace,
See you later. Peace.
love and light. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay, wow. So we just had Peter on the show, and yeah, sorry everyone about the video cutting off and splitting it into two like that. I'm gonna contact the software people and see what happened there. Maybe it was just something with YouTube or Facebook. So yeah, I'll definitely look into that and see what I can find. Yeah, and I hope everyone can share this video because getting to talk to someone who's been on the show of Vikings and has a lot of knowledge about the Irish history and stuff was really priceless. So I'm still kind of in disbelief that I was even able to get him on the show. It's like a miracle come true. So yeah, I guess if anyone can help share that, really appreciate it. I'll just get the show music here closing for the end. Yeah, and sorry I couldn't get to the chat, everyone. It's like once the video got split like that, I would have to relink everything on the fly. So I'll go into the comments section after the video's done and try to answer everyone's questions. And I could forward some to Peter, I guess, too, if anyone had some questions they wanted to ask him. So yeah, I appreciate everyone for watching, helping share the show, and yeah, I guess happy Easter. I'm going to try getting an Easter show done, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen before Easter. I was going to do it right on Easter, but it's on April Fool's Day this year, so it's probably not the greatest time to be doing a show because no one's going to take it serious, right? All right, well, thanks everyone for watching, and take care. Have a good night.
The Magi Show was brought to you by the Milky Way. I hate this galaxy.